Hey, I'm Cesar.
I'm Carla.
Welcome to another episode of Carla and Cesar's Modern Life.
Woo!
Hey, episode 9.
Number 9.
Yep, I just want to say before we move on that I apologize for episode 8 being late. It's been a crazy week. It's still a crazy week right now. We're in the day, a couple days before the 7-year anniversary party. But we didn't want to not bring you the content, so we just put it up the episode a little bit late.
We jinxed ourselves.
Yeah, because if you listen to episode, you watch episode 8, it talks about how we haven't missed a week. We didn't miss a week.
We
just were late.
Yeah.
We were just late.
Mm-hmm. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
People understand.
Shout out to everybody. And yeah, so we're recording this on Thursday, so if you're watching this on Sunday, it's a little bit... we haven't done the party yet, so... Mm-hmm. But still, I'm excited to do it. Mm-hmm. How do you feel? Episode 9.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
almost to episode 10.
Leaning back today.
Leaning back today.
I'm trying out something new.
So we're happy to be recording here. We're happy to be with you guys today, and we should just talk about what's been going on, with us this past week. Mm-hmm. Nothing much since last week, just getting ready for this event. I have been, going to different radio shows and promoting the event, so that was pretty cool. It was interesting to be on the other side of the microphone, because even here, even this is a different experience than the Rodriguez show, but it's still like we're both leading the show. You know what I'm saying? But over there, it's just like they're asking me stuff, and sometimes the conversation goes in places that I didn't expect. Like in Sunday school, we talked about like video games and stuff, and I was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And then at True 100, we talked about more like radio and just like the way it is and how things are done. It's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
My favorite part is just getting to see everybody else's setup. Like with the Hits 101 radio guys, it wasn't, I already knew their setup because we are there at that same studio. Mm-hmm. But the True 100 one was cool because I got to go see their studio, and it's brand new. They're still working on it. But yeah, it's good to see other people that are like passionate about something that I'm passionate about, and I can relate to that. Like, hopefully I'll be able to do more work at both stations, and more of the crews at the station. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
Yeah. And other than that, just trying to make sure that I'm mentally okay to do what I got to do for this event, and
trying to stay sane.
Yeah, trying to stay sane. And mostly it's been all right. The work has gotten really hard. We're basically short staffed, so next weekend is going to be hard, except for Easter. Luckily, our store closed on Easter, so I won't have to work. But we're pretty short staffed, and it's just hard to find people that want to work minimum wage, and understandable. Like, that in my hands, I wish I could give them more, but it's not up to me. So
yeah, and you're in a tough spot too, because if you don't find coverage for your store, you end up having to do it.
Yeah, and that's tough, because even for the party that we're having, I'm basically shorthanding our store. I wouldn't have done it. It's not because of me, but just because we don't have anybody to work.
And there's been a lot of places like that are just randomly closed at a certain time where it should be open because they don't have staffing.
Yeah. Oh, and I should mention, by the way, I don't know where there's a dog coming from, by the way. I should mention that one of the interviews that I did was not related to the show at all. I was actually interviewed about mental health for a friend. She's doing a school project documentary about mental health in the workplace, and I did get interviewed about what's it like to be a manager right now. And that was a cool experience because I never really talk about that stuff, but I realized I have learned a lot because I've been working to that job for 12 years. So it was interesting to be somebody asks you something about well, how do you handle this and this and this, and I'm like, oh, I actually have an answer to it.
You're talking about a lot in terms of leadership.
Leadership and because even with the skills of the day job and going into the radio show, being a leader translates into both. So it's cool to be able to talk about that, being a leader, especially in times right now where it's hard to be a leader, and it's hard to be a leader that people expect, and sometimes people go into a job expecting somebody completely different or handled somebody different, and it's just I don't know. At the end of that interview, I basically said the person behind the counter is a person like you trying to get through their life too.
Exactly.
And I think that people need to think that way of like employers too and employees, especially like in smaller companies, because because it's like they're just trying to do what they can, and small businesses are hard to deal with, and it's easier, I guess, for me because I'm not like it's not my business, so it's like I'm not, I was like, I try to do the best I can, but for other people it's like that's all they got, you know. They're a small business and they're trying to like pay people but also trying to make money, and it's so hard.
And people are just leaving jobs to go get like better pay, better benefits, and like bigger companies unfortunately are the ones that are able to offer that versus like the smaller mom and pop shops. Like
Target, like Target's offering 20 or something, or was it 25 or something? It was a lot. It was a really good amount. And it's like, like I totally wish that my company had the ability, because I understand, like it's not even like, oh, they're trying to cut back. It's like we can't make money if we're paying somebody $25 an hour, and that's just like how the world is, and that just sucks. You know? Like there's no like, hey, we're like we're not trying to screw people over. It's just a bad situation all around. You know?
Right.
So yeah.
On multiple levels too.
Yeah.
Not just staffing. Like,
like the whole system is messed up. Yeah. Like the way capitalism is messed up.
Caesar's TED Talk.
Caesar's, I mean, it's heavy. I'm sorry. This is a lot of stuff has been
it's okay. My mind. Thanks for sharing, and thanks for going first, because normally I feel like I go first.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes we forget to talk about you.
Right. Well, it's because usually I'm just trying to get through my life. But the big things are happening, and I really appreciate being able to like be on all these different platforms, even if it was just a student project. It's still fun. Like it's still somebody's still working hard at it. So you know.
Yeah, she appreciated it, I'm sure.
Yeah. What about you?
My voice is weird because I had a sinus infection earlier this week, and I also have been talking a lot more, so I feel like my voice is just kind of gone. But other than that, I'm good. I have my first morning shift at my new job tomorrow, so I have to go to bed in an hour and a half. So probably as soon as we're done recording, I have to go get ready for bed. But I've been good. I kind of had these epiphanies while you were with me, because we were talking about it, and I was like, oh my God, I really like my job. And I realized I don't hate people. And I had another epiphany. What was the other one? I think not being on my phone. Yeah. Because it's like I'm working in front of people, so I can't have my phone on me. Yeah. And I think not being on my phone, honestly, has been helping, because then I'm not just like mindlessly scrolling and like numbing out. So it's like a combination of a lot of things. And also I think whatever's going on with the stars and the planets, and just everybody should read their horoscope, because something significant is happening this month on the 12th. I couldn't tell you what it is because I don't have like the verbiage for it. For how do you say it? Verbiage? Yeah. But anyway, everybody check their horoscope, because something's happening. And so I was talking to my sister earlier, and we were talking about how we just feel happy lately, like the last few days. And I'm like, she said it first, and I was like, me too. And I've talked to you about it, how I've just been feeling more myself lately. Yeah. Which is great. I think it's a combination of like being in a good like work environment, and like being able to like eat better, and being able to work out consistently. I've been running just because it's free. I don't have a membership anywhere right now, but because normally running, like I like it, but it's usually not my first choice. Like I'd rather lift weights. But so I'm doing cardio right now, and it's been great because I stopped listening to music so that I can listen to where I run. There's it's like nature, so there's birds and like the airplanes, and like there's just always a lot going on. And I've stopped wearing my headphones just because I found that I was listening to a lot of like informative podcasts, which is good, but I feel like overloading myself and like overwhelming myself. And so I started doing that, and that's been great. Just been feeling a lot like just good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's good. It's good that it's good to be outside. And like you said, like you missed talking to people. You know? Yeah. That's crazy. I don't know why I forgot that.
Yeah.
But I think maybe just because in the last like 2 years, I've just been like very pessimistic maybe. And like at my last job, like I didn't really have the energy to interact with people just because I was just so drained, like physically, emotionally, mentally. Like I just didn't have like the capacity to like engage with people like that. And so now that I do, it's
feels
great.
Yeah, because now work is just like a short drive away.
Yeah.
And it's so cool.
I mean, I get to sleep in my own bed next to my husband. It's great.
It's great. Yeah, it's really great. Yeah, well, that's great. Did you have anything else you wanted to share?
No, just I love you a lot.
Love you too. All right, so let's get into it because Carla has to go to bed. We are recording at a later time today because it was a hot ass day. Also, our schedule worked out, but it was hot as heck today. Thursday.
Got some sun on my run.
Yeah. All right, let's get into these Am I the Jerk scenarios. This is, the part where we help you guys out. You can send us your own at advice@carlaandcesar.com. Advice@carlaandcesar.com is the email. Or you can send us a DM on Instagram at I am Cesar Rod for me. What's yours?
Carla Rod 89.
There you go. And that's where you can send us, your situation. We'll try to help you out. All right, I'll start with this first one. I'll read the synopsis and you take over.
Okay.
So when this person was in elementary school, they got paired with a high school freshman as a mentor. His mentor, Abby, was the same age as his brother, John. Abby and John ended up dating and eventually got married and started a family together. Now, 15 years later, they're getting a divorce because John met somebody else and is newly married to them.
So this is the person asking. It sucked because I liked John and Abby together a lot, but whatever. Also sucks that I told him he shouldn't have hurt Abby like that, but whatever. I also asked Abby how she was doing and she wasn't doing well, but she told me she didn't want to be the reason I have a bad relationship with my brother.
However, 2 months before the wedding, Abby called me and told me that my brother's girlfriend had been harassing her nonstop. She showed me the text and his girlfriend was saying some pretty disturbing things about how she was so much better than Abby, taunting Abby for having to share custody of her kid now, etc. Just making fun of her and bullying her.
I told my brother about this and he said he would ask his girlfriend about it. A month later, I asked him if he had brought it up and he said he did but saw nothing wrong with the text, which pissed me off. Abby apologized for involving me in the whole thing in the first place and encouraged me to still go to the wedding.
My brother asked me to make a speech at the wedding and it went well until I made a joke. At the gist of the joke was me turning to his new wife and telling her that if she learned anything from this, that she should know that my brother will never let his wife stop him from finding the love of his life. Oh.
This got my brother and his wife really mad and they kicked me out shortly after. And my brother has been calling and texting me nonstop, yelling at me ever since. Am I the jerk?
Dang. So he basically said, he made a joke saying that my brother will never let his wife stop him from finding the love of his life.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Like,
damn.
You're the asshole, kind of, but at the same time, good for you.
It's an asshole move, but I would say it's warranted. So sometimes it's okay. This is the first one that we've done where it's like, it's okay to be an asshole sometimes.
Yeah, like maybe that wasn't like the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
Get justice for Abby, but
damn. I just think that it's like, why taunt people in a relationship? You already moved on. Like,
yeah.
Like why do that? Like why do you have to bring other people down?
Messy people attract messy people, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't have done it. I mean, I kind of wish I had the balls to do something like that, but I wouldn't do that.
Yeah, no, I used to be the kind of person that would like try and be like say things like that, but
really,
I feel like I was a jerk for a while when I was like before we started dating. I was trying to figure out who I was, and I thought just being like not on purpose, but just being blunt and like just not holding back was. But it's just sometimes it's better just to not say anything, you know.
Especially a wedding.
Yeah.
Are they younger? They are younger than the siblings, but.
Didn't say there anything about age, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like we said, asshole but warranted.
Pretty much.
All right, do you want to do the next one?
Yeah. The synopsis is, this is an 18-year-old female college student who has been getting bullied and harassed by 3 guys in her class. She reported the bullying when it first started, but they only got a warning and the bullying persisted. Eventually, the harassment escalated and they started sending her inappropriate messages, including NSFW pictures, not suitable for work pictures.
Yeah, so inappropriate pictures.
Yeah.
I should have reported them or just blocked them, but I had enough, so I screenshot every message they sent me and found their mothers through their Facebook pages and sent screenshots to them, including an explanation of who I am and how their sons had been bothering me. Oh, shit.
Their mothers were horrified and shocked by what I sent them, and all 3 are on my side. Some of my friends think this is genius and exactly what they deserved, but some of my friends think I took it too far and it was out of line to put that on their mothers, and also how I don't know what their home lives are like.
Am I a jerk for doing this? Should I have gone about it a different way? I think this is the only way. Yeah,
because I think she was trying to embarrass them, and that is the perfect way to embarrass them, I think.
Yeah, because it's you're sending the pictures to somebody else, because let's say that's not the right move, but you're sending them to their mom, so it's it's a little hey, your son was doing this and you've seen your son, is this what you want your son to be like? And it's that's the only way.
And obviously all 3 of them were upset, so
yeah, because at the end of the day, the only way to prevent people from being like this is how they're raised. And if their moms are saying, oh, we fucked up, what do we do? How did my kid end up like this? Because that's what it comes down to, right? Not just the mom and dad too, or whoever their guidance people in life, that's who should guide them to treat people with respect.
Yeah. Which I'm sure they did, but obviously there was a disconnect somewhere. But somebody said that the only thing that they saw wrong with this was that they should have also copied the fathers. Why put it on the women?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Type of thing.
Yeah.
Which I can see. That's the only thing that I would have done differently.
Yeah. That makes sense. Find both their parents.
Yeah. But I think that her intention was for them to be the most embarrassed. And so that's why she probably thought of the mom.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't really blame you for doing this one either. This was just...
I don't either, especially because she said that she had reported them before and nothing happened.
Yeah. When you've done it the right way, and sometimes you gotta take the matter into your own hands. I don't know if that's not always the best advice, though. just saying.
Yeah, I feel like in this case it was okay.
Yeah. All right. This last one here. There's a 15-year-old female whose dad left the family when she was 7 and has suddenly returned 8 years later and wants to reconnect with them. Her family consists of her mom and her sister. She doesn't really have any memories of him and can't recall what he's like, neither looks or personality-wise. So, yeah. Her sister, however, was 11 at the time, and she was much more affected by her dad's abandonment.
Last week, he texted my mother and said he wanted to meet. My mother agreed. We arranged a meetup at a nearby restaurant. My sister was so nervous and excited, but I realized I felt nearly nothing.
He arrived, and my mom and my sister were very emotional. He cried too at the sight of his beloved daughter. He saw that I looked quite emotionless and asked, "Don't you miss your dad?" I replied honestly that I didn't remember him.
He was so shocked and hurt. Eventually, he cut off our get-together early, claiming he had to work. My mom and sister were so mad and they blamed it on me. My mom said that my sister had been waiting so long to see our dad, but I had to make a stupid remark and make him leave a second time. Asking how I could behave like this towards my dad, telling me that I'm a selfish bitch and asshole. I don't know if I should say bitch, but...
I'm sorry that he cut the meetup short because I knew my sister missed him so much, but to be honest, I don't feel bad for saying the truth. Am I the jerk for doing this? What do you think?
No, because like she said, she was just being honest. You can't fake having
emotions for somebody that
feelings,
wasn't there.
Yeah.
And that's he can't, what does he expect? You can't fake it. If you left her and she doesn't even remember you, that's your fault, dude. Maybe don't be an irresponsible parent, you know?
And then it was messed up of the mom and sister too to put that on her.
Yeah, that's projecting it on her. Whoa.
Yeah.
You can tell that they're really traumatized by the whole thing. And it just sucks because they're like probably looking for an excuse, but they don't want to. They don't want to say if they were so emotional about it. They're probably like they don't want to blame him.
Right.
They want to find any other excuse than he doesn't
like explain why. Because it's probably so like devastating. You know, like they have to find an explanation even if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and then the explanation can't be that he just doesn't care enough because it's like you cut off the meeting short. Like what did you want? Like it does. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
8 years later.
That sucks for this person because that's a lot to put on somebody who's 15.
Yeah.
Like her dad walked out on her too. Like it's not just the other person, you know, like just because she's not affected by it right now doesn't mean that she won't be down the line, you know?
Yeah.
So
and maybe that's her problem. Maybe because I was thinking like, she was 7 when he left. So maybe there is part for the remembers, but her trauma for being abandoned is that she put that stuff away. Those memories are gone because of that. You know, like people deal with it differently. You know?
And I just feel like there's something off for them to just like forgive him like that, like so easily too. Like there has to be something like not
something else
there.
going on. Yeah, like it's just so weird.
Yeah, just a lot of trauma, most likely.
Yeah, so we feel for you because it sucks to be 15 years old and going through this, like at any age, but this age.
Yeah, sorry you're going through that.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it. That's all I had, right? Yeah. Yeah. Well, so remember to send us your problems at advice@carlaandcesar.com.
And also let us know if you want to be a guest.
Oh, yeah. We were down to have people come through and be a guest. You know, we've had a few guests. We had Alex on. We had Rocky. She did the tarot readings. So check out that episode if you haven't seen that one. That one's really good, too. And we're going to keep it going. We're going to keep making shows for you guys. And, Yeah. All right, guys.
Thanks so much for tuning in.
Yeah, remember to take care of yourselves and each other.
Bye. Take care.